Do you have like an intro song?
Actually, I have a custom intro song from my friend. Happy New Year, everyone! Welcome back to 9mm and Chill. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I have an icebreaker for you gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you both have shirts on.
Okay.
One is,
Are you saying we should swap shirts or?
that would be hilarious.
No, it wouldn't.
Thank you for coming out and talking to us. Ryan works for G9 Defense. You may know them from the spinny little violent rounds that they make. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the firearms community to begin with?
Oh gosh. So transitioned from the NFL, did a little ride along, got into some private security, did some executive protection for almost a decade. Really got into the firearms community, enjoyed the firearms community, started instructing or learning about it, and then ultimately instructing. And then I got poached from being an instructor to the retail world, the sales side of things. Been competing in the firearms industry in a myriad of disciplines: shotgun, pistol, red dot, carry, and then now precision long range.
With the precision stuff, that's a little bit outside of what I typically do, as you saw earlier. We won't talk about that.
You hit it.
I did hit. What would you say right now is kind of your favorite sweet spot setup for your PRS matches?
It's probably not PRS matches.
Okay.
It's team sniper competition.
Oh, that's right. You just took a W in the Green Beret Celebrity, what's the name of that again?
Special Forces Charitable Trust Green Beret Celebrity Tactical Challenge.
Okay.
It was fantastic. What an incredible organization. Those guys raise a ton of money for, they fill the gaps between what isn't necessarily covered for the Special Forces community and their families. Such a fantastic event. Look them up, Special Forces Charitable Trust. Those people they're just incredible human beings, and what they do for that community really, there's not enough great things I can say about what they do and who they are. Just a fantastic opportunity to even go compete, and then to meet some of these folks and see and hear their stories was just extremely humbling. But knowing the sacrifices that what they and their families and everybody surrounding them has to deal with, quite frankly, so we can sleep in peace.
Yeah.
I don't think it's talked about much, and it needs more view. We ended up winning it.
That's
had
awesome.
an awesome Green Beret partner, and we did okay.
So what gun were you running for that competition?
I ran their standard issue M4. I think it was a Colt.
Okay.
With an EOTech, and then I ran my SIG X5.
Okay.
It ran really well. It's a great guns. Absolutely love that platform.
Nice.
Shout out to Justin and the whole Grey Guns community. That thing is just fantastic. Absolutely love that gun. And then I was running G9 bullets.
G9 bullets, weird. Speaking of G9, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do with G9?
My business card says training and sales, so I do training and sales.
Oh, wow, okay.
No, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of flexibility in what I do there. Industry relationships, partnerships with the training stuff as well. I get to shoot competitively for them and just kind of spread the knowledge about what G9 is as a company and the people there, and really bringing, in my opinion, in our opinion, the safest self-defense round to the market.
Can you elaborate a little bit on why it's the safest?
Collateral damage.
It ended in the deaths of 4 people, the UPS driver, a bystander, and the 2 robbery suspects who hijacked that truck.
God forbid you have to engage a threat and you hit them with a hollow point, and that hollow point doesn't work like it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. Now there's people behind that are potentially in the way of danger, right? What that EHP does is it transfers all of that ballistic energy inside the target, inside that liquid media, which most meat targets are made out of. There's a lot of liquid in there.
Bags of water.
Yeah, it turns out it transfers all that energy out into a permanent wound cavity that's almost 6 times greater than your traditional hollow point. So your pass-through potential through a meat target is extremely low. We have it set to that 16 to 18 inches of penetration for a reason. It's cut there. We use parabolic cast off to divert all of that extra energy outwards instead of through, which really makes holes.
Yeah.
from some of the videos that actually we've got to do here. It's very good at barrier penetrations, Gore-Tex, flannel, thicker jackets, even cotton t-shirts sometimes can fill up that cavity of a traditional hollow point and turn that thing into an FMJ, and you can't have that, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea is to save lives.
I like the way you explained it to me a few months ago. You know, if you turn on the faucet and put a spoon under it,
Yeah.
that water's going everywhere, right? And that's basically the idea behind putting that cut on the outside.
We've got a handful of YouTube videos out there. We've had some third-party testing sent in to us. It's been really good. It does a much better ballistic job of explaining the math behind it. I'm kind of a brute, but the math behind it is very, very mathy and very interesting,
Yeah.
and it's worth a look.
I mean, we were just talking earlier about how I had to check my math 3 times yesterday in the car on what is 3 times 8.
Well, you just use 4 fingers.
Man, see, that's why we have the thinkers around. So with G9 kind of changing the way that hollow points work,
Yeah.
I would say that that's a pretty big leap as far as design and technology. What do you personally feel, if we're zooming to 2050, will be the next big leap in cartridge and bullet design?
Holy cow. 2050, everything's probably gonna be lead free, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Other than plasma rifles and lasers.
Well, I mean, that's having a dad that worked at Lockheed Martin and take your child to work day. You hear a lot of really cool rumors.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be lasers, probably, but I don't know. Like, I'm a nerd. I like that kind of stuff.
Me too.
That's cool.
I'm just like hoping it's lasers, but let's be real. My mom in high school thought there'd be flying cars by the year 2000, and people still can't figure out how to drive on flat roads.
I don't know, man. I've seen speed and that bus flew.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. We had Jared on the show with Raven Wing.
I started shooting dragons, like literally to help out on the range.
Obviously, you are a substantial individual.
So is Jared.
He is, yeah. As Mo said when you walked up, fee, fi, fo, fum. So I know it can get frustrating. I mean, people ask me what it's like to be so talented all the time. It's
Naturally.
so frustrating. And I'm sure being asked what it's like to be tall gets frustrating. So we just went ahead, we surveyed the general public and got some questions for you. So this is Ask a Tall Guy, all right?
Fantastic.
Obviously, the first question, how tall are you really?
2 meters.
2 meters. Okay, so for all of you Europeans or slow learners,
Europeans would probably get that.
oh, well, I just put them in the same box as the slow learners.
You said that, not me. 80 inches.
Talking height. Speaking of, how many footlongs can you smuggle into the movies?
As many as I want. Who's going to argue with me?
That is a great answer. Have you ever considered having your insides hollowed out and having Danny DeVito control you like a mechanized
Turtle.
war
What was
machine?
the name of that villain in the Ninja Turtles?
Oh, Kang.
General Trag, it is time!
No, but Bronson maybe.
True, because though I might be a little taller than Danny DeVito, he's much rounder than me.
That's true. And you'd have more like meat armor because they would have to hollow him out more for Danny DeVito.
This was a tall person question?
I guess it wasn't. Yeah, I guess not. I'm just thinking like you're so much larger than Danny DeVito. Like, I don't know. He was the only small person I could think of.
I have a tall person question. When you stand on a balcony, like normal guardrails for normal people would like be a safety thing, but for you,
They're benches.
yes.
I still try to stay away from them because gravity is undefeated.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
0 losses.
100%. And it will get you. One day or another, gravity always wins.
Yeah.
I promise you.
We can move on from tall guy questions. What is your favorite thing about working in this industry?
Oh gosh, I think a lot of it is the people. You get so many different walks of life, so many different backgrounds. Obviously you have some Leo and Mill backgrounds that come in there, but then you also get some civilians that just had an idea that it wasn't good enough and they made their own thing, right? You have the Browning, right? You have the A5 and you have the, these machine guns that are just working parts, right? These incredible things that came together and really are still in use today and work pretty well. You see this technology come along and from different minds and different areas of so many people, and then when they collaborate and you get these really cool collaboration projects, it's probably my favorite thing to see is you see this build that's got glass from Loophole and a stock from Carrigy and a proof barrel and a defiance action and a
G9 ammo.
and G9 ammo. But you see all these really incredible pieces of equipment on their own, right? And then you start putting them together and you make this rifle that is sweet, right? And performance-wise, it's all there. And each little piece of that puzzle is trying to push the envelope into how do we do something better? How do we make it lighter? How do we make it more, flashy or ergonomic or whatever you want to call it, right? So at the end of the day, you get this true melting pot of equipment that is just a badass piece of equipment. Seeing those things at SHOT Show and seeing those things, the collaborations between different industry partners is really, really awesome.
Well, speaking of SHOT Show, this is going to be airing on New Year's 2024. SHOT Show is right around the corner. What is it that you hope to see? What is it that you hope to see, and what is it you really hope that you don't see?
I really don't want to see every single gun guru running around with their Instagram followings and YouTube followings saying, give me patches. What I am really curious to see is there's been quite a bit of forward thinking in the thermal and night vision world. And being a predator hunter, it used to be red light and a shotgun, and now it's thermals and it's night visions, and they feel like, you need a lot of really expensive equipment to shoot a fox.
Yeah.
Or, coyote, you really don't.
Yeah.
Turns out a couple of and a red light and a 870 will get the job done pretty well. But with thermal and night vision, you just see them coming in from a lot longer away. And then you also see how many are actually looking back at you. This is the other thing. When we first started, it was like, all right, there's only one out there. No, there's actually 14.
Yeah.
and we're surrounded.
Yeah.
And then you see like a bear, or you see a mountain lion, or you see something else. But thermal and night vision just lets you know that they're out there a lot further away or a lot closer, depending on how lucky or unlucky you are.
Yeah.
And then how hot your buddy's pants are from where he pissed himself. That thermal is really good for seeing that as well. Almost a little too well. The advances in thermal and night visions are the things I'm really excited to see at SHOT Show.
Cool. With SHOT Show, we get a lot of announcements from companies. A lot of them over the years have been a little disappointing. What is a New Year's resolution that you think a gun or accessory manufacturer should have?
If you say you're going to release a product, it should be available in Q1 or Q2, not next year after SHOT Show.
Yeah.
A lot of consumers, they wait to buy till what they see at SHOT Show. If I can't buy it for another year, that irks me as a consumer and as well as an industry guy. Like, I just think there's some better planning that could be done.
Sometimes things come up, We have
Absolutely,
supply line issues.
Things are totally
all that
outside
kind of stuff.
control, but
you should budget for those incidents.
I know you're really excited to release it. SHOT Show is pretty much the event to where if you're going to release something, you're going to get a lot of people with cameras, a lot of clicks, hopefully. I mean, ideally that's what you want as a company.
Yeah.
So if you release something there, now you've got eyes on it. I think you do yourself a disservice if it's not available, at least within I'm going to give it that first quarter thing, right? So people can use it, give their feedback, but you also probably should have tested that product before you got it out there, instead of letting everybody else make their harps and stuff, and then you get it back and release another gen, and another gen, and another gen, and even a few more gens.
Yep. All right, I have one more question.
Yeah.
All right, at the beginning, you mentioned NFL.
Oh,
Are there any parallels that you've seen, things that you've learned from playing in the NFL and your entire football career that translate over to the firearms industry and what you do now?
Yeah, absolutely. Communication, teamwork. You got to know what page everybody else is on, and you have to communicate clearly with intent. If you don't do that, you fail. My past set doesn't help me in what I do now, but learning how to breathe, learning how to communicate with people in the shooting industry, whether it's a competition setting or even sending an email, it really helps. And you don't build that unless you have to do it under stress, like really high stress. When somebody, if you screw up, it's $1 million mistake behind you. You better be on it, and you better hope that the other guy's on the same page too, because that could be a problem.
Yeah. I know that pressure. I mean, imagine trying to change a full diaper in public with a baby who's trying to grab that diaper and throw it. That is a high stress situation.
Stakes, yeah.
High stakes.
Good luck
Because
to you.
I'm not cleaning that up. That's why you hired a janitor. I'm really glad we finally got to sit down with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan is around all the time. We always enjoy having his company. This is just a little bonus to share what we value with the rest of you. We're looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.